Hello, everyone. Today, I'm presenting to you a very exciting project. We are going to build a protein language space using virtual reality. By the way, my name is Yao. I'm a assistant professor in School of Computing. My lab is called Integrated Digital Omics Lab. In our lab, we do all kinds of bioinformatics projects. Bioinformatics is an area where computer science meets biology and statistics. As a bioinformatics researcher, we often develop scalable algorithms and tools so that the biologists and the medical scientists can interpret their data sets pretty well. We also build meaningful visualizations and databases. In this project, we are going to use VR to build interesting visualizations for protein sequences. So what are protein sequences? We know that the plants, animals, and the microbes, they all contain a lot of proteins in their cells. Proteins are sequences of amino acids. Each amino acid has a name. If we use a unique letter to represent each amino acid, then a protein can be represented as a string of alphabetic letters. For example, the protein on this slide can be represented easily as GASA, CTPH, and so on. So then each protein can be represented as a string. Then we have many proteins, which means we have many strings. Some of the strings are similar to each other. Some of the strings are different. For example, protein 1, 2, 3, they share common sequences, so they form family A. 4, 5, 6 form family B. If we project these 6 proteins into one space, which means if we use one dot to represent each protein in this space, then we can imagine protein 1, 2, 3 form a cluster and protein 4, 5, 6 form another cluster due to their sequence similarity. Why we call this protein space as a language space? Because protein sequences are similar to sentences. And the grammar in this language space is conserved sequences of a single protein family. For example, protein family A share common sequences GASA, CT something. We call that the motif of protein family A. Protein family B, of course, has a different conserved sequence. So we say protein family B has another different motif. So motif is actually the grammar in this protein language space. The user can do a lot of things given the protein language space. For example, the user can click a dot and see the protein sequence. The user can also click a dot and try to define the neighborhoods of the given protein. After the neighborhood is defined, the user can also view the common sequence of this neighborhood, which is basically the motif of this protein family. There are many other things a user can do with a good, protein language space. Indeed, Facebook already built a very large protein language space. They call it Protein Language Universe. If you click the first link, you will see a nice video describing this protein language space with millions of proteins. The second link is a website built by Facebook. If you go to the second link, you will see the proteins in the 2D space. So with virtual reality, we can do more with protein language space. We can project large amount of proteins in the 3D space, and the user can visualize this space both low and high resolution because the user can zoom in and zoom out. The user can also potentially have a very good immersive experience when they explore the data. But meanwhile, the computational challenges exist. For example, what is the best strategy to project the entire space into a 3D space? Can the user zoom in and zoom out smoothly within a reasonable time lapse and with a reasonable memory usage? There are 3 modes of this type of VR visualization. The first mode is called VR mode. In VR mode, we can take advantage of the features given by Apple Vision Pro. The second mode is called the desktop mode, aka web browser mode. In this mode, we use VR equipment simply as web browsers. So potentially the desktop mode can be compatible with different type of VR equipment. The third mode is called leaders mode or teachers mode. So it requires a couple of the VR system or more VR systems. You can imagine the teacher can lead the navigation and the students can follow. So with a good VR system, what can we visualize on top of the protein universe? First, we can visualize protein universe together with meaningful clusters. Theoretically, each cluster represents a meaningful protein family. Second, we can also visualize protein universe with motifs. If a user clicks the red cluster, the user can see the common patterns of this red cluster as an important motif. Third, the user can also visualize protein machine learning architecture. For example, the VR system can easily visualize the neural network in a 3D format. The user can navigate into each neurons and see what's special there. Why this work is important? Because now with the VR system, the user can browse and infer protein clusters and functions more easily. The user can also project their favorite proteins and see their locations in the existing protein space. With this protein space, the user can also examine the potential bias. With machine learning model visualization, the user can also understand models in a more meaningful way. The impact of this work can be both short-term and long-term. In short-term, if we really do a good work, we can show this work to our local community. We can present this work in an art show. We can also invite biologists to play with it. We can demo it in front of local high school teachers and students and see if they like it or not. The long-term impact of this work can be also significant. We may have a lot of innovative things happening in this project that can help a lot of people in bioinformatics visualization. Imagine 5 or 10 years from now, after we have more rich features and extensive functions, we can visualize more things in a more crazy way. We not only can visualize protein space, but also DNA space, cell space, and human space. So that's why this work can be both interesting, exciting, and meaningful. So come and join us. Let's build it and make it popular. Thank you and see you soon.